You're listening to the Dollop. It's an American history podcast.
Why
This guy.
are you? Why? Why are you mad? Why?
With this guy.
Why? Do the intro proper.
You're mean.
I'm not mean.
You're a mean man.
Gareth Reynolds, do the intro. You can't. Jesus Christ. It's like there's no call for professionalism on the show at all. The bar is so low. And you mail in the intro to a podcast. There's someone right now in a mine listening to this, like coughing up coal. And they're like, boy, Dave really had a hard time with that intro on his podcast that he does from his home.
Look, if you're coughing up coal, you need to talk to your shop steward because you should not be ingesting the coal.
You are.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense. That's why we're putting the kids in the mind. Dave, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the Dollop.
Come on.
It's an American history podcast.
Yes.
Each week, Dave Anthony read a story from American history to a mean
my
person.
Best friend, Gareth Reynolds, who has no idea what the topic is going to be about. Better, I guess. I don't know.
Is it?
No.
Are you better? How do you feel?
Good.
You started this.
I did not.
Gareth, we're going to be on tour.
Damn right.
Should I know the dates before I say that?
No, yeah, I think the whole thing is that people love to hear you discover the dates along with me.
Oh, that's okay.
It's June.
It is in June. We're gonna go on tour. We're gonna start in Sacramento on June 3rd, and then it's every day this tour. Then the next day it's Boise, Idaho, and then it's Spokane, Washington. Then it's Seattle, Washington.
You're making people do
Portland,
the date
Oregon.
math.
Yeah, it's all right. And then Bend, Oregon, and then we end on June 10th in San Francisco, California.
That's right.
Go get tickets at dolloppodcast.com/tour.
That's right.
And that's I think that's yeah, I think we don't have anything else to say about that, right? That's the whole
we got to get some more dates queued up too. I don't think we have any coming up, do we? After that?
I think they're in motion.
Oh,
being set. You could check with the people that do that.
You could also do that. Well, I know that one of them is listening. I know that the great Tej.
Is the Tej listening?
Probably.
He loves the fart chair.
He loves the fart chair. He'll text me every once in a while, and he'll be like, you said the wrong date. He never goes, what a great... Sometimes he'll go like, that was a great episode. But other times he'll just be like, hey, real quick, you gave the wrong city.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's
fair, because that's what we do.
Yep.
And you more often than me.
I'm not good at this.
No one said you were.
Yeah, they were right.
How about this? Okay, so this is one we did live in Utah, and they didn't record it. September 24th, 1922. Let me see if you remember it off the name. Douglas Stringfellow was born in Draper, Utah, to parents Henry and Naomi Bertha.
No. Well, first of all, Bertha birthed him.
Girl.
No recollection. I vaguely remember the name. I think you're overestimating how much I'll remember this.
I don't think so.
Okay.
When he was young, I really think this is one you'll remember. When he was young, his parents moved to Ogden.
Okay.
Utah.
Yeah.
It's about 10 miles east of Salt Lake City. And Ogden was a railway hub and the second largest city in the state. Mm-hmm. And in 1938, the Ogden Standard Examiner wrote that Doug had received a special outdoor assignment from his instructor for, quote, studying the artistic arrangement of colors and vegetables and fruit.
What? That's the best pass to get possible.
So he's in high school then. He's in high school.
He's just doing field work?
I think that's part of his class.
That's the best. See, that's what it should be.
I agree.
If it were that, like on what level did you dread school when you were a kid?
Well, sometimes yes, but we had like, okay, the best thing that happened in elementary school was there a guy who brought like discarded items, garbage like stuff, and then we would make art out of it. and they would just dump it on the playground, and then we would make art.
Great. Real ripe for poking jokes about a guy who just dumps a bunch of trash and then tells the kids to make paintings or something. But I'm talking about older. What about 14? What's your level of dread with school?
Well, my French class was in the first period, and one semester I went 3 times.
Okay, so you're just a fucking nerd.
No, 3 times.
Oh, 3 times total.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you kept showing up for class. Like, hello, teacher.
Oh, my God. What is...
Il me faut une bonus round?
No, I went 3 times.
I hated school so much. I couldn't. It shows on the knowledge I've come into the show with, but I could not handle it.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Like, if you were like going to go garden, or if you were going to learn how to make things,
yeah, well, there
or
should
you were
be,
going to, that sort of stuff would be enjoyable.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think school liked you?
No, I actually have many records of it suggesting that I was a major problem at it.
So Douglas was an athlete and a football star in high school, and he obviously was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which we will call Mormons. They don't want to be called Mormons, but I don't care.
Well, first of all, rude. And why?
Well, the name, just have a nickname.
Look at what the fuck.
What's the new nickname
of them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are they? They're not Mormons?
They don't want to be called Mormons because, like everybody else, they had a big molestation scandal and they want to rebrand.
The Reboot Jesus?
The Rebooters?
Yeah, the Rebooters.
All right. He graduated in 1941 and went to Weber Junior College, where he played football, and he became a member of the local Excelsior Club.
Oh boy, fucking
I assume that's just guys running around shouting Excelsior.
I can't imagine anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, what else could it possibly be?
And in that case, I'm for it.
I am kind of into it too.
Yeah.
You should see me trying to spell Excelsior right now. It's
got to be an absolute nightmare.
Absolutely.
Again, as people just heard, you basically didn't go to school and just stared at squirrels and was like, how come I can't be one of them?
Is it possible to just join their little areas? Can I go into their tree homes? You mean nest? Whatever it's called.
Can I get credit for math for hanging out with the squirrels?
Hey, look, history is a real blind spot for me, but I've learned to pet a squirrel in the park.
I almost killed a squirrel yesterday.
Oh, God. Your temper's out of control.
Not with the stare or the fists. Driving my car, I came running out and I had to swerve because they don't get it. They don't get it.
Look, their brains are little and they got to cross a road. I'm definitely saying they're overwhelmed. But by the way, if I don't know how many squirrels listen to this show, if you're a squirrel, just dart. Enough with the thinking. Get out there.
Yeah, the whole I'm going to go through with this no matter what's happening is not a good idea.
Well, but I think a lot of the danger comes in the like, hey, I'm going to go halfway out and then fucking peel back.
Oh, yeah, there's that also,
If you got to get over there, get over there.
What about this? Look both ways.
I mean, I think they do. Look, it's a lot. But I'm saying it's like when a running back is like doing moves in the backfield. Just pound the goddamn hole, squirrels.
Ew. In October 1942, the local paper reported Douglas had shot a 150-pound buck on the family ranch.
Nice.
So this is partially just an example of how there's not a lot of news in his town.
Yeah, normally you go by points on the buck, but.
In February 1943, the Signpost, which is a paper, said he took part in charm discussions during Girls' Week events.
Hey, in 1943 Girls' Week events, charm conversations, not a lot to love.
Quote, lectures and roundtable discussions on the subject of charm were features of the AWS Annual Charm Week.
Definitely concerning. Definitely how to cross your legs, like from a guy.
I also feel like in college, they used to do stuff that they now might do in high school.
Yeah, it's all what kind of refinement classes were there for guys? There was nothing.
No, they didn't need them.
No.
They're already refined.
And thankfully, boys, you came out perfect.
While Charles Lamson gave a lecture on how women should style their hair and do makeup, Doug was part of the co-ed quiz roundtable, where he discussed, quote, what qualities he believed a Weber co-ed should possess.
It's just crazy.
Everyone agreed they should wear sweaters and skirts or some other casual type of dress, short socks, and low-heeled shoes.
Oh, man. I mean, it's like, look, I'm not saying things are good, but at least it's now like we've limited it to like Pornhub search engines for guys rather than just being like, here's what I like. I like when you bend over and I can see down your shirt a little bit and just the outline of the nipple, but not too much. Do you understand? That's kind of what we're going for. I just talked to God and he really enjoys it when you don't wear a bra, but you wear a white shirt and it gets a little cold. That's nice.
God likes the headlights. Does that make sense?
You know what I'm saying? You know, really, just something that, I listen, you got to wear underpants, but nothing too baggy.
This is like they went to ask, like they had two guys come in and say what their fetishes are.
Yeah.
So then women would dress that way.
Yeah, for them. And then they were, and then other guys are like, now hold on a minute. I don't like it when they wear underpants. Like, okay, look, ladies, look, the Charm Week is full of varying opinions, which I think is what makes it such a helpful think tank. So sometimes we want to see your panties and sometimes we do. Do you understand?
So go ahead and take them off and just give them to me. You go ahead right there.
And Randy here likes to sniff them. So there you go. There you go. He doesn't have a cold.
Oh.
So see, women, this is what we're trying. We're coaching you in the right direction. And remember, this is a religious event, I think.
We're helping you with charm.
This is charm. It's pretty important.
Yeah.
You've heard of charm offensive? Well, we're being offensive about your charm. So really, let us have it.
Yeah.
Wait, Dave, I do have to say, speaking of Randy, do you remember my character from the last bit?
Yeah.
I am on the latest episode of Dumb People Town, and they boxed me in to promising that I would promote it, and it's a great episode. They want to have you on. Daniel Van Kirk, the Sklar's, always a great time. Go listen to it.
They sent me a TikTok, but I haven't looked at it because I don't look at TikTok messages. But I saw it came up. It said the Sklar's sent you a message, but I didn't look at it. That's where I'm at.
With them?
With everybody.
Okay.
Send me your panties.
Oh, my God. The idea of knowing someone sent you a tick. I'm in negotiations to open the Sklar's TikTok. By
the way, a lot of people get upset when you use the word panties. So I would just like to say yes, especially when you say moist panties. We just lost half our listeners.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And gained more.
But those of us who are listening are growing.
Yes. So welcome, Rogan boys.
Hello.
The U.S. entered World War II and Douglas enlisted, joining the Army in April 1943. The signpost, quote, Douglas may have a smooth voice, but he really knew how to treat the football rough. If Doug treats the sergeant the way he hit his opponents, the guardhouse bars will be the only remembrance retained from his Army life. I don't know what's happening.
Super weird way to write an article, obviously.
He's a good talker.
Yeah.
That's probably why he was part of the co-ed roundtable.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And he's a tough boy football guy.
Yep.
So if he treats the sergeant the way he did his football opponents.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
The guardhouse bars will be the only remembrance retained from his Army life.
Oh, so, yep, still don't fully have it, I'll be honest. Thought I was sniffing around it a little bit, but then I think it's gone, honestly. I mean, I think it's saying he's going to get kicked out of the Army, but
I think so.
I think that's what it is.
After basic training, he was picked to take an engineering course and trained at the University of Cincinnati for a year.
Great.
In March 1944, he joined Company C, 62nd Armored Infantry Battalion.
Okay.
And in September, he was sent to Europe. He never made it into the fighting, though.
Well, that's the way to do it.
Because on November 19th, while in France, before ever engaging in actual combat, he was part of a routine mine clearing detail. A bouncing Betty mine exploded and shrapnel hit his spine. In December, the Salt Lake City Tribune reported that he had been wounded in action in France.
He got the mine spine.
Now, notice the Salt Lake City
He got the
Tribune
mine spine.
Said he had been wounded in action when he had actually just been
in a mine.
Wounded non-action.
Sure. It's
So
still action-y.
It's action-y, but it's different. He returned to Utah, and he was hospitalized at Bushnell General Hospital. Now, Doug had lost the use.
Can some of the nurses cut their outfits up a little bit so that the men feel comfortable around them?
This is for charm. I need more charm. You know what I mean?
Before the surgery, if a couple of the nurses could sit down, and the way they should cross their legs is very important.
For charm.
For charm. And I like it when they put on a little bit of lipstick, but not too much makeup. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be horny for the surgery.
Not slutty. Not a slutty nurse. Like a naughty
I love a nurse outfit, but can some of the nurses dress as French maids? Or as you call them, maids?
What's best is when the nurse walks in and everyone starts chanting, charm, 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 charm.
Charm, 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 charm.
So he has lost the use of his legs.
Okay.
And while in the hospital, Doug said he sat in his bed listening to war reports on the radio, and he's completely depressed.
Sure.
And he saw his role in stopping the Nazis as just meaningless.
Sure.
And he said he just
I know how he feels.
Yeah. And he said he laid in bed and just fantasized about fighting the Nazis in the war.
You talking about a little...
No, it's not a sexual fantasy.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, that's good. He's got patriotism in his blood. We want to stop the Nazis. He's Brad Pittish.
Douglas learned to use canes and leg braces to stand.
Okay.
He was a very good speaker and told his fellow wounded vets in the hospital about his heroics on the battlefield.
Go
ahead.
May I jump in with a query, my friend? If memory serves,
yeah,
we've been talking about this guy for a little bit, and I do remember you saying he was he never saw combat, and he got hurt in a mine, and so now he's parlaying that into talks about his life on the battlefield, which seems.
Not
how do I say bullshit?
Yeah. Oh, oui.
Someone went to French 3 times.
That, by the
so
way,
he's lying.
If you do on a French test, it actually doesn't.
You know what I would love to do is go to France for a little bit and just see their American impression, because it has to be hysterical.
Yeah, it's got to be great. So like you say, he is talking a bit much, I would say. So word gets out and soon about his heroics, and word gets out, and soon he's asked to come speak at the LDS 13th Ward Sacrament meeting as
Latter-day Saints.
Because he had obviously won
Rebooters,
Purple Heart, and the Silver Star, and the bronze medal.
He's saying that he did, or he did.
Well, he didn't. He did the Purple Heart. The Silver Star and bronze medal. He got blown up before he went into battle.
Yeah.
He was clearing
so
mines.
That's what it seemed that it would be strange for them to give him a Purple Heart.
Well,
Yeah. Okay. So
he spoke on,
it would be so great to hear his bullshit line when people want to see it. I mean, you want to see it.
Yeah, you do want to see it, don't you?
Did you bring it? No, I didn't actually. I left it in the Uber. You know what? I had it out on my dresser to bring today, but then I completely forgot about it.
Again.
And I left it. I keep forgetting it. I mean, I should wear the goddamn thing.
Yeah,
that's what I should start doing, is wearing it.
Yeah, this is your 7th speech here, and every time.
I know, and I keep forgetting the Purple Heart, the bronze, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I keep putting them near these letters that I want to mail, and neither's getting done. I keep forgetting it, and I tell you.
Is that the only thing that's crazy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
just asking.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's crazy. I don't care for this guy's attitude.
Mm.
Oh, wait, I might have it in my other pants.
Okay. He spoke on, quote, interesting and faith-promoting incidents he experienced while overseas. So he focused on the LDS shit. Around this time, he met Lee Lemon. She was a freshman at Utah University, and she ran Utah's largest dance studio.
Great.
She had come, and I would imagine at this point, if you're in a dance studio in Salt Lake City, your whole goal is to get on, now I can't remember the name of the show.
American Bandstand.
No, the one in Utah. The starts with an L, right?
Yeah, Lawrence. Right.
Oh
what is that one called? Lawrence
How can
Welk.
I not fucking Lawrence Welk show? Jesus Christ!
Oh man, where people would be dancing and he'd be like a little crotchy.
I mean, I can't recommend enough people go on YouTube and just watch how white people behave back then, and it's. My favorite thing of all time was when he goes, and now to dance, it's my favorite Mexican. And out comes
Christ.
this lady. Just really great stuff.
Jesus. And my only. But it was like, and then he saw Soul Train and he was like, I don't think, no.
I mean, those things were on at the same time.
Shit. Wow.
Yes,
that's crazy.
they were on at the same time. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
you can just see the Lawrence Welk audience like, well, I mean, this has been totally taken. Just another fine thing white people invented and black people stole from them. Keeps happening.
So she had come to the hospital to dance for the recovering soldiers.
Oh my God.
And it happened to be on Douglas's 23rd birthday. And when she met him, she said it was love at first sight.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And Doug was released from the hospital on November 1945. And in May 1946, he married Lee Lemon in the Salt Lake LDS temple.
Okay.
She called him Stringy. He called her Funny Face.
Fuck me. I would push, but believe me, I in my relationship have to push for nickname changes.
Yeah.
If you're going with Stringy. No.
That's what I think you should be called now.
No, you leave me. Stop.
I'll send her a message.
Stop. Mm-hmm. Stringy, Benji, it's just a nightmare. The show has gone on too long. The nicknames are too much. There's just too many.
Stringy, take it easy.
Stop.
They honeymooned in South Utah and Las Vegas and then returned to live in Ogden.
Beautiful.
I mean, go further.
Try harder.
Jesus Christ. You're from Utah. Go to the fucking coast. Go to the coast.
Didn't Joseph Smith had another place in mind at first, right? It was like Utah was like the plan B. Wasn't there like then?
I can't remember, but I think so. Well, I think they did try it. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
But they were definitely like, God told us to come here. And then it was like, they're going to kill us. Utah is okay.
Well, they were in Missouri for a while, and I think that's where the attacks happened on them. But whatever.
Christ, the idea that like God gives you two options, and they're Missouri and Utah.
He got a job in radio at KLO, which fit his speaking skills, and he started doing more speaking engagements. He would always stand using his cane. He frequently gave talks to the Boy Scouts and other youth groups. He's able to stand and walk. He just has a limp, or you said the use of his legs were gone. Yeah, I don't know if he could. I think he can FDRing walk a little bit? Pretty, roughly on the canes. I don't know if he's in fully a wheelchair.
Paralyzed. Okay, gotcha.
But I know when he speaks, he's standing.
Right. Okay.
He's also a very big LDS speaker. On March 18th, 1946, he gave a speech at a Red Cross drive, and his story had now expanded a bit. The Ogden Examiner called him a, quote, former member of the OSS. That's the Office of Strategic Services, which was the intelligence agency of the U.S. during World War II.
He didn't do anything,
it becomes the CIA.
Good. He didn't do anything.
He was at University of Cincinnati, then he went over to France. And
then he went to a mine. He was in Cincinnati for a year. He went to a mine, and then his spine got hurt. Now he's on the Purple Heart, a couple of stars, and he was part of the OSS.
Oh, yeah, that's right. His story seemed to be, it would get more embellished with each speech, kind of.
But that is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That is what happens. That's what happens when you're going. I mean, it happens all the time where you go like, wait, it used to be this. Like, remember when Brian Williams got busted for like that story where he's like, I got shot in the head 4 times by RPG fire. And the people are like, Brian, you got off of a helicopter when there was nothing going on. He's like, in retrospect.
So that's not great because he's getting offered more and more speaking gigs as the story becomes crazier.
Bigger and bigger, right?
After a while, he was saying he had captured Dr. Otto Hahn, the father of nuclear fission. I mean, there's just no, I mean, it really is. It's such a lesson. You know what I mean? It's like a Stanford experiment, but just in a different, where it's just like, what if a guy thinks he could just say anything forever? And then what if that guy was president? That's so fucking great. Now, the biggest,
I remember the first, like, if you're on the road with him and you're like, well, that's new. I'll never forget the time that I captured the father of nuclear fission. Huh? Wait, what? What happened?
Well,
I remember when I stabbed Hitler through his mustache with a katana blade not too long ago.
Interesting. I didn't hear about that.
I'll never forget when I was eating Eva Braun's brain with a troop of monkeys in a German jungle.
Why would you do that?
We had to gain her knowledge to figure out the secrets of the Third Reich.
Why were there monkeys in a German jungle? Well, there's no German jungles.
Let me tell you that. Oh, yeah, there's some big ones.
There's forests.
They're jungly, though. They got a big jungle in there.
Don't agree with that at all.
Absolutely. And I went down to Hitler's bunker, and it was basically a rainforest cafe. I mean, the place was just stocked with leafies. There was a jaguar. He had panthers, monkeys, tree rats, you name it. He had fish that could walk. I should have brought my Purple Heart, and I left the goddamn thing on the coffee table next to a book I wanted to give to a friend of mine. I swear I'd forget my lies if they weren't screwed on properly.
What?
Head.
So here's the problem with the Otto Hahn line is that Hahn was caught on April 25th by an armored task force in 1945, and Doug was wounded in November and out of Europe in December of 1944.
Sorry. I remember when I built a time machine.
That's correct.
You forget that?
No. It's a good point.
That's why I brought back with me a bunch of people from history to help beat Hitler.
Yeah.
I had George Washington. Mm-hmm. Remember him? Mm-hmm. Big player.
Big player, yes.
Big player. Mozart. Mm-hmm. These women who just wouldn't listen to how I liked them to dress. Mm-hmm. I had a caveman.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs. 2
like
velociraptors.
From Geico?
I'm not familiar, but 2 velociraptors. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of other guys. Eric the Red.
Okay.
Is that a guy? He was there. He might have been lying. I hate liars.
So his new. So this is just making him more and more popular. And he runs and becomes president of the Republican League and then runs for county clerk of Weber County. And when he announced, the paper said he had worked for 3 years in the OSS, because that's what they said in their little.
Sure.
Yeah. He lost, though, because that year was a Democratic romp. And in late 1947, he and Lee went to Northern California to be Mormon missionaries.
Okay.
Those are if you don't know what that is, those are people who ride around on sometimes bikes and walk around, and they have white shirts, and everybody ignores them.
A little elder sign on their chest.
He continued to make speeches to churches while there. He told the San Joaquin Valley LDS Church he was just one of 200 students picked by the OSS, and discussed his rigorous training and said he and other OSS were sent to Marseille to clean up the black market. Quote, when the group was sent behind German lines, flown in 17 bombers, they dropped us under black parachutes over Nuremberg. While the nearby American artillery opened up a heavy barrage to distract the attention of the German forces, members of the group seized a key radio station and announcers who spoke fluent German broadcast messages designed to demoralize and confuse the Germans on the eve of the attack. Later, OSS operatives seized a leading German scientist whose name Stringfellow could not reveal even now, but who was a leading atomic fission specialist.
Fuck me, dude. That is... Well, first of all, can we just commend the creativity? Because it's really good bullshit.
It is really good bullshit,
it's
but
like
if
good, but it's also so funny to imagine them just like breaking into a German radio station, just like, Ich bin bei nun, oh, hell, my friend,
but it's also like hilarious because like it's like the one thing you wouldn't take, because if you took it strategically, it's not. I mean, aside from just blowing it up and making it non-functioning, but taking it over and then talking to German troops, like now you've just made yourself an incredible target.
What do you mean? Like in the lie?
Well, because you're going behind enemy lines and you're taking over a radio station. Yeah. Well, then they're just going to know where you are and how to kill you really quick.
And you're the idea of like I mean, I'm sure that we're listening to the radio, but the idea that all of a sudden you'd be like, what's up, everybody? My name it's DJ,
right?
DJ Klaushausen. Listen, on the ones and twos, am I the only one who's thinking that this war is really going bad all of a sudden? Look, we're gonna play some great stuff in a minute. We got a bunch of accordions and jug music, but I don't know. Sometimes me wonder if this is even gonna work out. And if I were a troop, I probably would be looking at the mirror thinking, couldn't I have an easier life somewhere else? It's 11:15. Weather right now, 55 degrees. Demoralized. Here we go.
He said most of the OSS were captured and tortured for 5 days in a notorious camp. And then American forces arrived to rescue them. As far as his injuries, he said it was from the explosion of a jet propulsion plant near the front lines.
I mean, fuck me. You know, obviously the greatest part of this story is we know what happened, so we can just enjoy every block that's built.
Yeah.
But holy fuck. I mean, it's like, what is Lee must be like, honey?
Well, the article in the Lindsay Gazette notes his wife was there when he made these claims. She apparently didn't notice his insane changing story.
I never heard it. I didn't know that you flew through the sun. How did that happen? You never I didn't tell you that one.
A couple months later in Merced, he said he received a presidential citation.
He's really cooking, dude.
Oh, he's really cooking.
I can't take it out of the trophy room. Honey, why didn't you ever tell me that when you broke into Hitler's bunker, you hit his nutbag like a speed bag at the gym? No, I didn't tell you that one.
They returned from their mission in the fall of just those two, that's not the German stuff.
Sure.
In the fall of 1948, and he went right back to speaking at the LDS churches. He was now saying he was only one of 5 of the original 200 OSS members who had survived the war.
So, well, that's good too, because those guys are probably like, wait, what? Like, I mean, obviously none of it exists, but there's limited corroborations.
Yeah, you're sitting there and you're like, wait, am I dead? Am I a ghost?
Or you're also like, I don't remember that guy. Do you remember him? Were we near a jet propulsion explosion?
Was I in like a fake OSS?
Oh, do you guys remember him?
He was now back on the radio at KLO. And in February 1949, the Ogden Standard Examiner wrote that Doug said he was wounded while escaping from a German prison camp and then spent the next 3 years unable to leave the hospital. A few months later, he was describing himself as, quote, one of the cloak and dagger boys under General William... Who would say that?
I mean, honestly, you know us. We're one of the cloak and dagger boys. Huh? What are you talking about? We were the guys who did Fox's Magic Secrets Revealed.
Under General William Donovan's office at Strategic Services during World War II.
I shot out of George Washington's penis when he fucked a flag.
Now he's saying he led 30 men into Germany and they captured a key radio station and they put out on the air key information that led to a successful assault by American forces.
Oh my God.
That's not.
We actually released a hit single called Down with Reich. We put together a band called Krauts and the Jermies.
I love that the idea that the American forces needed a guy to go on the radio in Germany to coordinate.
Honestly, like in his little head, he's like, Operation DJ.
Doug now said he was the only man of the 200 who was alive and not hospitalized.
Now the rest are dead. You got to believe me. That's it. Everyone else is dead.
That's probably why, because people are like, you should get one of your other OSS guys to come. None of them made it.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Quote, he returned to America paralyzed from the neck down and still has only partial use of his legs. He has regained most full use of his arms.
His bullshit has never been better.
Douglas said captured scientists agreed to help make the bomb only if the U.S. agreed to use it if they were going to lose the war. So his story is the
German stipulation is that they're like, only if you promise to use it.
When you're losing, like you can't use it offensively.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought they were just like, we just want to see the fireworks go,
which is not what happened at all.
Right. No.
So at the time, the first bomb was dropped on Hiroshima by mistake. That's what he said.
Whoopsie. Hey, did you let the leaflets rip? The leaflets? What are you talking about?
What an insane and terrible claim.
Imagine thinking you can get away with saying that. And imagine thinking that in any way, like that little, whatever you gain from that, which I don't think is much, it does to the United States. You don't gain anything. Like, it's so under patriotic to
we're accidentally dropping nukes.
It's just that he's trying to be as interesting as he could possibly be, but he's just to be like, oh, we actually didn't even mean to bomb Nagasaki. You know what I mean?
He said that Hiroshima was not the original target and that the second bomb had to be dropped on Nagasaki because that was the original target.
Wait,
we were only going to do one.
Wait, oh my God! So he's saying little man and fat boy or whatever. Where the second one was like, well, now we got to go.
Yeah. Well, we were trying to hit Nagasaki. We hit the wrong city, so we're gonna do the.
So we did.
Imagine like if there was any.
You ever heard of a nuclear mulligan? So we called it.
Oh fuck. Wow. There's nothing about telling that story that is good. It's just Gareth, the Dollop is brought to you by Turtle Beach. Is it a beach for turtles? No.
Okay.
Gareth, you remember the feeling of just booting up your game for the first time, video game, the go late night, right?
Yes,
just huge sessions, in there with all your buddies fighting, whatever.
Yes.
It wasn't just something you did. It was like an experience. It was an event. Yes, it was. And the right headset really made all the difference. And Turtle Beach.
I got to tell you, when I showed my buddy these, he lost his mind.
He did.
He was like, "Oh my God, you got Turtle Beach."
Yeah. No, Finn's a huge gamer, so he already has grabbed it and using it. Turtle Beach. It's bringing back that feeling with the Gen 3 Stealth 700 headsets. It's like going right back into that sweet, sweet golden age of gaming, but this time audio richer, surround sound. It's more immersive, and the battery lasts 80 hours.
Jesus.
80 hours.
But we recommend that you get up to pee at some point during that session.
Please pee.
Please pee.
So you don't get the crackly mics anymore. No more missed call-outs. Just sweet interrupted gaming.
It's got a sweet, the way the little mic piece drops down. It's nice. It's subtle.
Yeah. We got this. We both have it.
You're getting emotional.
Way better than other headsets.
No, they're great.
I mostly sit and watch Finn play because he plays for hours and I don't get a chance.
Well, I actually sit and watch you watch him play, and I don't even know if I've told you that. I'm in the driveway
it's uncomfortable.
in some camo.
It's uncomfortable. Yeah,
but I've seen it.
But when your headset works better, you get an edge. You get an edge. Yeah. You get more wins. It's also super comfortable. And you can wear it for a long time, which is a problem with a lot of headsets, the wearing thing. And the battery, like we said, the battery just went on.
You talking about the whole rash?
Finn and I haven't recharged the headset. It's still
That's crazy.
It's still, there has not been recharging. So we got to recommend this. So head to turtlebeach.com and use code Dollop for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com with promo code Dollop. And after your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today.
Come on, guys.
Gareth, we are also brought to you by Hims. Look.
Oh, Dave.
If Edie is getting you down, if the little fella ain't big fellaing.
Sure. Wow. I didn't know you went to medical school.
I did. You need Hims, right? To get your confidence, other things back up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hims provides access to treatments. They can help you stay hard, last longer, so you'll be ready whenever the mood hits.
Yes.
And Gareth, with you, I know it hits a lot.
It's abusive how much it hits me.
Hims is changing men's healthcare. It provides you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from your couch or your desk or the backyard, wherever you want to do it. Hims access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable tablets and Viagra and Cialis, and they're generics for up to 95% less. That's a lot less.
It's a lot.
That's a lot less.
It's a lot less to get a lot more. Wink, wink. Thank you.
It's 100% online, so you don't got to deal with any doctor visit or uncomfortable weirdness that happens with that. You don't need insurance. One low price covers everything: treatments, ongoing care, all that. Mm-hmm. Gareth recommends it. I know you've been as much as possible because you use sex, right? You're a sex guy.
Big sex guy.
Yeah, Gareth's a sex guy, so isn't it him? Look, if you're having a problem, take care of it. Don't just let it fester. You know.
Yep.
Start your free online visit today at hims.com/Dollop. That's HIMS.com/Dollop for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/Dollop. The featured products include compounded products which are not approved nor verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
There you go.
We're also brought to you by Helix. Helix Sleep.
Dave.
So I wear a sleep watch. I wear the Apple when I sleep to keep track of my sleeps.
Sure,
my sleeps. Sure. And since I've had a Helix, I'm killing it on the sleep end of things.
It is just the best. We have the exact same bed.
Yeah.
It's different models, but truly... it is the best.
The Deluxe Lux?
California Deluxe Lux.
California Deluxe Lux.
The Dux Lux, I think it's called.
I used to not sleep well. I really didn't. I was up all night. I would also get a little bit of a backache from my previous bed. That's all gone with Helix. I'm sleeping like a baby. I'm sleeping like 7 babies.
That's weird.
I'm a 7 baby sleeper.
Well, the other thing is it spoiled me so much because when I go on the road now and have to stay in hotels, we were just talking about this when we're on tour. You're like, you can't wait to get back to that bed.
Get back to your bed. Yeah. And Gareth sleeps like a cat. While I sleep like a baby. 7 babies.
Yeah. I'm licking him. Go ahead.
Okay, that's
hurry.
Yeah, so we highly recommend Helix Sleep. It's very comfortable. It's delivered straight to your house. It comes in a little box and you open it up. It comes to life.
You take it out of the little thing and it's like, and then you get bed.
And you sleep better. So what's not to do? Is that the right
what's your
thing?
problem? I think is what we're saying.
So look, go to helixsleep.com/Dollop for the Sleep Savings Event, 20% off statewide, April 1st to April 30th. That's helixsleep.com/dollop for the sleep savings event, April 1st to April 30th. 20% off statewide. helixsleep.com/dollop. We also brought to you by Squarespace. This podcast, a Squarespace podcast, where it is an all-in-one platform. It's going to help you stand out and succeed online, which Gareth needs.
It's a business machine.
Gareth, your website is a Squarespace website.
Dave, your website is a Squarespace website. Dave, the Dollop website is a Squarespace. And why do you say it? Hit them with it.
The sources page is a Squarespace website. We work with them because we have worked with other hosting companies, and they blew. And Squarespace is by far the best.
Yep.
Sweet ass templates. They look great. You can go in there and fudge around with it and see if it works for you, and then sign up for a trial.
And it will.
And then sign up for Squarespace. It's great. It looks great. It works great. They have 24/7 support. It's exactly what you need. And you can do everything you want. You can streamline your work with built-in appointment scheduling and e-marketing tools. They got AI stuff going on there for all your AI needs. That's not a good way to say it, but they have AI that helps you do stuff on there.
Well, we also great stuff for your content. They're just so helpful. They have it all. They've really built themselves up.
They got all the built-in analytical tools that you need. And like you said, 24/7 support. So look, go to squarespace.com/dollop for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code DOLLOP to save 10% of your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/dollop for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code DOLLOP to save 10% of your first purchase of a website or domain.
Yay. Evan and I one time had when we first got out here, we had a pitch, like our first pitch ever. And we made a little it was like a sketch we'd made. And this guy ended up going to jail 2 years later for embezzlement and stuff. But the guy who gave us $5,000 to shoot the thing in a meeting was just like, he was like, so I gave the boys here $15,000 to make a little something. And Evan and I were like, give us $5,000. Why would he say? And he just did it because it made him sound more wealthy. But we were like, that undercuts everything. Like $5,000, you're like, oh, it wasn't bad. $15,000, you're like, these guys are terrible.
Yeah.
And you were like, who benefits from this lie other than just one person right now quickly?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also predicting, quote, the next war will be fought between Christian loving people and God haters. They've wanted that forever. It's
called manifesting.
Yeah. He had become a bit of a big deal in Utah and within the LDS and among the patriotic types.
Sure. Yeah. Well, of course he is.
Yeah.
I mean, of course. He knows this.
He does. In 1950, he became the chairman of the Americanism Committee of the Ogden Junior Chamber of Commerce. First of all, you guys get a fucking life. Get a fucking stop. Get a fucking. First of all, you're already in. You're not even in the Chamber of Commerce. You're in the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and then on top, you're already the most Americans that could be in America. You don't need to Americanize that.
Can we also just talk about this worship a little bit? It has to stop. Look. You love it here. That's great. Stop wearing flags. Would you chill the fuck out? You are in a fucking abusive relationship with a location, and all you keep trying to do is suck its dick.
Yeah.
Stop putting the flags on everything, shouting for freedom all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, I understand you love it here, but you're letting it get away with murder and be run by fucking sick people because they know if they tell you that they love the flag more than anyone else, that will work on your brain. The idea that you have to walk around with like merch, this fucking country and its goddamn merch, just hold it to some fucking standard, for God's sake, would you?
I gave you the
Instead of just everything you're doing just being like, hey, I got a t-shirt with the Constitution on the sleeves. Okay, good for you. Way to fucking go. Okay? At some point, would you sit down and have the hard conversation?
Now I got to look up shirt Constitution on the sleeves because I bet that's a thing.
Has to be. I remember when I was in coming back from Australia one time, And I mean, whatever. I was like not excited to head home, and I saw this guy in a shirt at the airport on my American flight back, and his shirt said "Fuck your feelings," and I was like, "Well, I'm excited to go home. That'll be fun. That's exciting."
There are definitely shirts with the Constitution on them, but I'm not seeing one with the Constitution on the sleeves. That might be considered derogatory. It wouldn't be on the main part.
I mean, it's just this. It's really, it's just. Can we just wear clothes? Can we stop? Can we stop bedazzling everything?
No. Doug's stories were now being.
I worry if I go out, people won't think I love America.
Yeah,
just go out. Just go buy some fucking oranges.
Friend, if you're out with me and you don't have a flag on your shirt or an army symbol or military symbol of some kind or the Constitution, I think you're a fucking animal.
Oh shit. Oh my God. Does anyone have a flag I can borrow? I got to go inside to buy shoes. Here, I got a flag you could drape yourself in.
So his stories are now being repeated by Mormon church leaders, and they're being written into church lessons for young people.
So let me tell you about the time that Doug and Jesus broke into the Nakatomi Towers and saved Bruce Willis.
It's bad. He told the Logan Rotary Club the 200 OSS men were caught and sent to a concentration camp. Quote, the stench of burned human flesh was almost unbearable.
This guy went to France once. I mean, this is like if Hilaria Baldwin was in the armed services.
I don't know who that is.
Dave.
Dave,
sweet Dave.
The Spanish lady.
Well, no, she's from Boston, but she also.
That story and the fact that they have a new reality show is just
the fact that she has gotten away with being on national TV saying that she doesn't remember what a cucumber is called with her fake ass accent. I mean, look, I'm not saying that what Alec Baldwin did on set is not crazy.
Alec Baldwin's a monster. He's a fucking monster.
But he shot someone on set, and that's horrible. Yeah. What she's done is worse.
Okay.
She was on the Today Show, just like, how do you say cucumber? She's from Boston.
When they were in their concentration camp and they were tortured, they quote prayed as they never prayed before. So
because it never happened. We've never prayed like that because it didn't happen.
Have you ever hard prayed, like really like hard fucking prayed, like a normal prayer, but like really go hard, really go hard.
I really
level 10.
I mean, just even imagine in this hypothetical lie that never was anywhere close to existing what he's comfortable making up, that in a world where Jews are being held because of their religious belief, he sort of campfired and had a prayer powwow. Come on, guys. Let's pray that this barbed wire melts.
The German underground created a distraction that allowed the men to escape and flee in a truck.
Just them, though? No, none of the other people in the concentration camp?
Know.
No, okay. No, just them.
This speech was titled, What Price Freedom?
What? It's that grammatically, it's unsound.
So he is a very good speaker. So he is in major demand. He spoke at Rotary clubs, chambers of commerce, the Kiwanis Club, the youth sports meetings, VFWs, many LDS events, and he's now speaking outside of Utah. He's spreading.
It must be fun.
Yeah.
To just be like, ooh, I just thought of some bullshit.
Yeah. It's like
I shot Lincoln.
It's like if you went on the news and just kept saying we're going to be on Mars in 2 years and all my cars will be driving without drivers. In December, it was announced Doug was nominated for a National Americanism Award given out by the Junior Chamber of Commerce. At the end of the year, he came in third place in a speaking contest, losing only to General Eisenhower and President Hoover.
Wow.
The contest was called Operation Comeback for vets who came back after being horribly wounded. In that speech, Doug said he'd been in a coma for 6 weeks.
I think he's still in it. I mean, really, this is, again, it's like this guy going around parading himself as the most patriotic when really what he is doing is I don't even like fucking throwing that, but it's just so against the people that he's trying to charm with his bullshit. He is doing everything in the opposite direction. Lying about the patriotism that he espouses his patriotism from his story and just stealing valor like it's fucking
the most incredible stolen valor.
Leave a penny.
Yeah, it's insane. In 1951, he had about 200 speaking engagements. He was the keynote speaker at a telephone company convention. Other speakers there were governors and senators. After, he flew to Tinker Air Force Base to speak, then to Denver to speak at the Crusade for Freedom rally. He's getting standing ovations
Dave,
constantly.
I can't hear any more of the names of these functions.
The most American, because you hate America. He said that at the phone convention, he got a 12-minute standing ovation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So now he's like Prince.
He's flag Prince.
He won the National Freedom Foundation Award for a speech promoting American ideals.
American idea. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't remember this story. So I don't know what happens to him at the end, but he better be like drawn and quartered.
This is when McCarthyism is really hitting its stride.
Time for him. Perfect time
so
for him.
Doug announces he's running for the House of Representatives.
Oh my God.
Campaign is pretty much just about how awesome of an American hero he is, which leads to more and more repeating of his amazing feats. Near the end of the campaign, a Republican activist told Doug that a colonel had traveled to Ogden and heard the stories. And he apparently served with Doug during the war and said he was a phony, as was his story. And Doug reassures the Republicans that's not true.
I mean, you can't. At this point, you just have to hope you can die before they get you, because this level of
this isn't going to end well. How can it end well?
You can't possibly.
You wouldn't be a Dollop.
Yeah, no, but you can't possibly like. I have been lying. I mean, you go, that guy's fucking bullshit. A plane flew into my head.
So rumors swirled days before the election that Dems would attack his war record.
Sure.
But it did not happen, probably because it would blow back on them hard.
Yeah, it's the same
You're
thing.
in a no-win situation.
Very easy to just be told you hate America.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you see Trump, like Trump was just like, they don't care for America. Now he's just like, they want to blow it up from the inside because they hate you and they hate the flag. It's like, stop.
It would just be why are you attacking hero, et cetera. So Republicans sweep the election in a landslide and Doug wins, and he's now a congressman.
Wow.
Which means more speeches. He also signed a studio deal for the rights to his life story. Really getting in deep. Really getting in deep.
Imagine paying for that. I went to town. Would you sign? Did you get anything? I got a handful of magic beans.
In February 1954, Doug thought he was going to L.A. to get an award. But he suddenly found himself instead on a TV show.
Oh, I kind of remember this.
Because it's a TV show that surprised people. It was This Is Your Life.
Oh, my God.
So people didn't know. When they were going to the show, people didn't know. Someone just tricked them to go.
Yeah, right. Oh, my God. Oh, the fucking nerves going through him.
He's suddenly on TV. And let me pull this up.
Oh, my God.
Oh, right. I gotta go ahead because these idiots are doing a thing. So 3:34.
Lee, it was like, I have something to tell you. You're actually on the show. This Is Your Life.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
States. Right to the basement.
It went off because I moved the goddamn. This stupid.
I hate it.
Just
The worst.
I mean, just work.
Just please.
Like, what does it have to be? Why do you lift up your phone? Does it have to turn? Oh my God, it did it again.
How about when you try? How about if you know on YouTube now, if you touch the screen, touch it.
And this is your life, brought to you, as always, by Hazel Bishop.
Hold on, I'll speed it ahead so it gets to the right part.
But if you like touch it wrong, YouTube's like, oh, you like that ad? You're like,
Yeah.
nope.
No, I don't. I really don't. Okay, this is it.
Right under the noses of the Nazis in the Gestapo building. Our mission, of course, was to stay so close to them that they couldn't expect us and try to outguess them on the spot for split-second operations.
He started becoming a great orator and starting to really fine-tune his speeches.
Working with the British and French to capture a high German official and destroy all installations at that point. On a split-second schedule, you have a rendezvous with an Allied plane that lands in a hayfield to pick up 10 of your men and your famous prisoner. Now you, Doug, with 4 of your men armed with Tommy guns, form rear guard protection. The plane is 3 minutes late, but the mission is accomplished.
He's stuck there with 4 other military men.
We were scheduled on our split-second plan, and immediately we felt the sharpness of bayonets in our backs. They caught up with us. We were first stripped of all of our clothing, then forced to walk across the street and watch them burn the church to the ground, and as persons would come running from the building, they were shot down in cold blood.
Okay, so
I have questions.
well, first of all, the people you heard interjecting are
His
his
family.
grandsons today.
Right.
Um,
I remember this. Yes.
But this is one of the biggest shows on television at the time, if not the biggest. It's a huge television show.
And the guy who's recounting what happened to him is the host.
Yes, the
Right,
host
right.
is
The host is like, "I said
prompting
that?"
him. The host is like prompting him to say stuff, right? It's
Right.
like the setup so the questions will prompt you to talk about what
right.
happened.
Yep.
So vets are watching this. The vets who actually captured Otto Hahn are not really into the
Do you
thing
remember
they're
him?
seeing. The Salt Lake.
He should have been on This Isn't Your Life. That would have been better.
The Salt Lake County Young Democratic Club began an investigation into Doug's war record. Labor unions and vets organizations quickly got involved. In June, CBS aired a drama of his war story.
Oh my God.
Now, not a movie, a drama. So it must have been like an hour program or something, but it's not a film. It's
Like
a
a
recreation.
recounting? Right, okay,
recreation sort of thing. And then right after that airs, a producer buys the rights to his life for a film. Now, This Is Your Life, it was totally vetted.
Sure.
His
By who?
story now
Everyone's dead.
His story now included being told by doctors he would never walk again, overcoming that and walking with a cane. So he runs for office again in 1954. I guess a couple months later or something, he says he's running again. And his opponent now is Walter Granger, who had run 4 years before. And when he ran, he was called a commie and all that shit, right? So,
Is McCarthyism still kicking?
Yeah. And a quote, dupe of the Kremlin-controlled Communist Party. That's what they called the guy last time. So now he's running against him.
Sure.
A paper made up a corruption story about Granger in the last election, but people are like, he should be the guy to run again. So he does. So Granger had known for a year that Doug is lying about his record.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd already known this. But he's not going to leak it or go public himself because he thought it would backfire.
Mm-hmm. So
at one point, well, I think you don't have to say anything publicly.
Yeah, but you definitely
you leak. If that's what you wanted, but you have to hit him with it.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah. You could easily go and find the soldiers that he was supposed to have been with, and they would come out and go, "What the fuck?" Easily. Yes. That's not hard. Anyway, at one point, someone asked a Granger a question about Doug's record at a public meeting, and he declines to discuss it. The Army Times begins investigating Doug in January after his TV appearance, and then there was a following newspaper series about how awesome he was. Another unknown news organization investigated him in the summer, but they couldn't find any documentation to prove Doug's claims are false. So this is why when anybody in the media reaches out to the Department of Defense, they're stonewalled. The DOD does not want to offend a sitting congressman because it can hurt their funding.
Oh my God.
The OSS doesn't exist anymore.
Everyone he worked with died.
Yeah, everyone or was captured.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
In August, a congressman who was wounded in battle reached out to the Army Times with a tip. And this is considered the first reliable tip. The Times began going through all Doug's speeches and any documents. And they got a letter from Dr. Hahn saying he had never been kidnapped.
Oh, God. I mean, you've got to be like, a lot of this is not adding up. I mean, it must be very difficult for you to be like, I mean, I'm starting to wonder, is he pathological? This is insane.
And they also quickly realized that Doug had not been in Europe when Hahn was taken in.
Sure.
So on October 11th, an editor reaches out to Doug. Right? So it's under a month before the election. And they talked for about 30 minutes. Quote, "It was an unsatisfactory conversation. He was evasive, calm, and confident sounding, but unable to produce one source.
Show me the Purple Heart
To his backstory."
Yeah. So literally nobody, but I mean, he's kind of crafted that over time that there's nobody who can corroborate because everyone's dead.
The editor agreed to take, quote, "any one sentence confirmation from anyone in the CIA who had the OSS files." Doug asked Eisenhower to release the CIA records to vindicate him.
Knowing that he won't.
He hoped the CIA would say the records were closed forever. Instead, what they said, that the records didn't exist.
Oh, better.
So Doug called his friends in D.C., and then he got them all to call the Army Times editor. Quote, "some accused, some warned, some threatened, most reasoned." So they're doing the full court press to save this guy's ass.
Mm-hmm.
The Times published the story on October 14th. Then the shit really hit the fan at the paper. They were attacked by many and called it a hurricane. The Democratic Party bought 10,000 copies and distributed them in Utah. That's smart. That's good. Yeah.
That's strategy. That's something I've missed.
They also gave their investigative report on Doug to LDS Church President David McKay.
Oh, like he's going to give a fuck.
Well, he calls Doug in for a meeting.
Really?
We need to talk about this. And Doug's like, "it's not true. This is fucking lies."
That's what we thought. Bullshit. Everything's a lie that you did? No.
But then McKay keeps getting information. And later that day, he goes, "I need you to come back." So a second meeting in the same day about how you're fucking lying.
Well, it's later in the day.
God damn it.
Come on.
And Doug again. It's Doug.
Fun. This is fun. Hey, Pook. Yes. Poopy, we're having some fun.
And Doug again denied the reports. He told the press he was going to sue the Army Times and the writer.
I'm going to sue him.
Then Doug was grilled by two fellow Utah Republicans, one who was a senator. And he finally admits it's false.
Wow. All of it?
Yeah. Quote.
See, I wouldn't even do that. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, a couple of them I fudged."
I think
he was hurting. He wanted to.
I think really the timing it's the Otto Hahn thing and not being there in Europe is really, I think he's just, how's he going to deny part of it?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I would, I'm trying to be, it's like Madoff. You know what I mean? It's like, I guess you don't really have an option, but I would certainly be like, a couple of the things are made up, but most of it's true. I'd start there. I think a couple of them got away from me.
So, quote, "suddenly I was free. I wanted to shout
was free.
I wanted to shout it. It was like a spiritual baptism."
Oh, fuck. You motherfucker. You absolute fucking motherfucker. No. This is me when he did. No, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't.
I felt flushed out.
You fucking piece of shit.
So then LDS leaders are like, you got to come clean. So he did that night. He went on TV, KSL, and in his speech, he said his war stories were false as tears streamed down his face.
Dave.
Quote, here are the facts. I never participated in any secret behind the lines mission for our government. I never captured Otto Hahn or any other German physicist. And when he was done, he sobbed in Lee's arms.
This is when.
Let's just say.
This is when.
How proud we are of his service, though.
No, this is when you put this guy in a vest of bricks and throw him in a lake. You do not. That's what the
Germans did to him.
This
basically.
is the problem. No, they didn't. He just admitted that. This is the problem.
Sorry, the French.
You are not allowed in the same day to go from a lying war hero to a church redemption story. No, I am not going to allow this.
So Gareth hates America, but please, for the record, he hates American heroes.
I love it.
The
Constitution on my sleeves.
The Spokane Chronicle reported both political parties were now mad at the Army Times because they printed the story when they did, and Republicans were upset it was before elections, and Democrats are because they didn't wait for them to drop their own report first, so they could be the guys.
Well, I'm sorry, the parliamentarian was reviewing the documents.
Oh, Jesus. Their report, the Democrats' report was a 17-page report detailing all of the lies. And it was learned the White House had found out about the lying 6 months before and done nothing. So Eisenhower knew.
Yeah.
Doug even lied about going to Ohio State and the University of Cincinnati.
Oh, Jesus. If he starts doing jumping jacks.
A few days later, he drops out of the election. Republicans scramble, they get a new candidate, and he wins.
You fucking losers.
Doug went back to Ogden and said he hit up an old employer for a job. Quote, they told me to never set foot in this place again.
Oh, that's nice.
And then someone who ran speaking clubs. So it's like a dinner club for speeches, and they're around the country. It's called the Knife and Fork Club.
Just like the Cloak and Dagger boys.
And they asked him if he wanted to speak again. And in early 1955, this is just months later, he gave his first post-ruined life speech in Detroit's town hall. And Doug said people started asking him when he was going to go back into politics.
See, this is what is so fucking stupid. This is what we do this now. We take a ghoul and then we go, hey, go on Big Brother. And then you're like, oh, they're not so bad. And then you go, oh, okay. And then they become a figure again. It's like Nigel Farage. Like these turds deserve to sink. And instead, because of these little outlets where because they're a scandalous figure, they're able to kind of carve. It's like Cameo. It's like you now you have a little world. There's a little area where you can exist and you build yourself back up. And then people are like, I like him.
Well, let's see. Let's see if that's what happens, Gareth. He wasn't doing many speeches and they didn't pay what they used to. He got an occasional job like working for an insurance company between lectures. The title of the new speech that he was doing is called I Believe. And it's
excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir.
It should be called I Don't Lie Now.
Sir.
Truth Teller. Doug Stringfellow.
I actually think it did happen now. By Doug.
It was a mix of his personal philosophy, current events, and spiritual stuff. Quote, it's the same speech I gave before with the elimination of the war story.
It's 4 seconds. It's a 4-second speech. It's me saying thank you and good night.
He was also giving talks in LDS churches again, though quite a few people were disgusted that he had the gall to show his face in public.
Well, what the actual fuck? If like I was in church and this guy showed up, I would be like, hey, what are we doing here? What's like our thing here? Because it feels like biblically, no.
Redemption.
Yeah, I know that is what it is, but it's like you have to have some standards.
That's why guys like Russell Brand go over to the church, because then they can say, "But then I found Jesus."
Oh yeah, no. You could absolutely. He planned it great. He really did. He planned it great. He like built the bunker. He was like, and then they come out for him, and then he just goes, "Oh God, what did I tell you?"
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
It's more just like, yeah. Well, I told you they were going to come for me.
When he had a speech in a town, there were a few angry letters that would come in the local paper. He can't hold the job. Lee got a job selling dinner china and went back to school and eventually became a psychologist.
Oh,
so
you would just like look at the back of it and you're like, this was made in Poughkeepsie. I believe.
Doug is really trying to make ends meet. And after a while, he did get back into radio in Salt Lake using an alias, Don Douglas. Lee said she would come home and, quote, he'd be sitting there with tears in his eyes listening to Madame Butterfly.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Crikey.
We all have our holes. We all have our dark places. For me, it's Hamilton.
For me, it's Cats. Oh, my Lord. That is wild.
I'm not sure when, but at some point, Lee talked him into moving the family to Mexico to get away from the, quote, taunting and humiliation in Utah. Remember, he has kids. He's got like 4 kids, I think. So his kids are just getting harassed.
I bet you he just had like an ant farm.
So they moved to Mexico. He starts painting. His paintings are actually selling well there.
Can we stop with these motherfuckers? Can we just start to take the hands of these people, please? So I don't have to look at dog paintings from war criminals anymore.
I'm sure it's all religious paintings. I'm sure it's all religious, right? Yeah. It's got to be.
Well, you know George W. Bush does paintings of the injured from the Iraq War, and then is like,
yeah.
I mean, you're just like, hey, what are we doing? Yeah. What are we at? I think I painted this guy's limb that I'm responsible for losing pretty nice.
So he starts having heart attacks. So they moved to California, Long Beach. And he said he was writing a book and had a publisher. Quote, I was immature and like most enjoyed a hearty slap on the back. From there, the story bloomed all out of proportion.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That bloomed. It was a blooming.
You are a liar. You are a liar.
Lies bloom.
Back pats aren't the seeds of your fib garden, you piece of shit.
Lies are like flowers, and the people were watering his flower.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm just giving people what they want to hear. Really great stories.
So it sounds like he knew what he was doing, right? But not according to the book he wrote, which he said he got a $20,000 advance, or maybe he did. He got a $20,000 advance from Random House to write. In 2013, 3 of his grandkids said the family had his never before published book and that it wasn't his fault. So that thing I played earlier, the kids intersecting, they're saying their whole thing is that, well, this isn't his fault. He wrote that he didn't realize he was telling lies until after he was elected to Congress. And once he did, he couldn't admit it because people would think he was crazy. So he was trapped, Gareth. He was trapped. He said when he was in the hospital listening to war stories on the radio, he began imagining himself in battles. And then they became real to him.
What are we doing? We just literally... China kills billionaires. We have to just start picking some people, and we just have to do it. Like the second he starts doing this, you have to be like, look, we're gonna put you on CBS primetime, and we are going to kill you.
After the election in 1952, as rumors popped up that he wasn't a war hero, he then did start to doubt himself. And one night, he was alone on a trip, and he decided he needed to see his war records to jog his memory. The Salt Lake Tribune quote, later that same night, he awoke suddenly shouting, there are no records. Then he remembered it all, and he realized his time in the OSS was a figment of his imagination. So this story of how it's a figment of his imagination is as stupid as the stories he was telling. It's the same lying shit.
Yes,
this isn't how it works.
He's lying. He's got a problem.
It's not
he has
how it
a
works.
problem. No, it's not. No, it's completely not. But again, he's being enabled by a couple different bumpers around him.
Well,
family,
isn't he at this
church,
point
politics.
Just trying to get his family to believe him. Don't you think that's all he has right now?
This is a man who should not have any mirrors in his house because looking into them is not an option.
Cue Madame Butterfly. He never sends the book to the publisher. Instead, he returned the money and put it away in a drawer. That's what he said. I'm assuming that he just wrote the book and no one wanted it. And that's what he told his family.
Or that like someone read it and they were like, Doug.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Doug. I'm serious. You should go back to Mexico, my man. Like, you need to get the fuck away from you.
So they're living in Long Beach, and at some point he gets a job in radio, and Lee stumbled across the book in 1994. He died in 1966 at 44 of a heart attack. So he dies young.
Okay.
So she finds the book in 1994. I mean, clean out your drawers once in a while. Like, what are you doing?
Honestly. I mean, there's supposedly a big cash bonus in one of them.
30 years? Look through the drawers.
Honestly. What, did A&E come over to do a Hoarders?
Doug wrote that being on the stage during This Is Your Life made him feel physically ill. Lee wrote a foreword in his book, quote, he literally reimagined a total story, sufficiently important to warrant the extent of his injuries. His ego latched on to the attention this story brought him.
There is. You are the only time this happened, sir. You are a liar. You are a liar.
Well,
and they can't say that you're a liar. So everyone around you has to lie enable and rebuild your lies.
Counterpoint.
No.
I sleepy made it.
No. What?
It's a technical psychological term. You sleepy make. So when you're laying in a bed and you listen to radios, you absorb it, and it's called sleepy making. And then you're
a liar.
The story is real.
Lie.
So I sleepy made it.
You lie.
Well,
I have two brains.
From the book, quote, without a past to recall, a future to plan and build for, I fled each night to that world of fantasy where time and space did not exist. I roamed the battlefields of the world, conquering the enemy and restoring peace to a war-torn earth. Thus, psychologists do not think it so strange that I awoke one morning consciously remembering my dramatic but imaginary part in a war that was all too real.
I mean, could you say any clearer that you have the mind of a toddler?
But look, let's just take and say that's true.
Right.
Then why did the story keep getting crazier and changing?
Yeah, completely.
It doesn't work.
Exactly.
This lie just is complete.
So if you woke up and realized that your life, that you remembered an event and it was a lie, okay, let's give you a pass.
Yeah.
You kept fucking riffing on your lie because it kept making your spotlight bigger.
Yeah. Yes. Lee said on the book, quote,
we really do we need to castrate the relatives. Like the younger generations of these people, we just need to start taking ball bags off of them. It's fair. Going to stop the genetics. And also it sends a message that like, look, if your grandpa was a pathological liar and you try to reinvent that to redeem him in some way, you will lose your genitals.
This is Lee on the book, quote, I think he definitely believed he had those experiences, but I really don't know how to account for it. Right, because you sat there and watched him increase the lie.
He's a fucking liar.
Yeah, so his 3 grandkids tried to start a GoFundMe. It made no fucking money. They were like, we're going to get his real story out there.
Should be called a GoFundMe.
That was in 2013 how about this?
And
at that
Let's
time,
start a GoFundMe to take the genitals of these 3 grandkids who tried to do that.
It's weird.
I mean, the genital taking.
At the time, the Salt Lake Tribune wrote up an article mostly backing this new narrative.
Dave,
they raised almost nothing, so it's all fine. So yeah, like I said, he died in 1966 at 44 years old of a heart attack.
Oh my God.
Sources: historytogo.utah.gov, Washington Post, some YouTube stuff, Deseret.com, the Ogden Standard Examiner, the Salt Lake Tribune, the Lindsay Gazette, the Salt Lake Telegram, the Deseret News, Associated Press, the Evening Star, Time Magazine, and yeah, that's it. And Salt Lake Tribune, I said that right? Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, bro.
I mean, at some point, look, I don't expect it to happen. Okay. And I'm not going to make this a long one. Okay. Let's just get it over with. But at some point, we need to start finding a consistent moral compass and punishing those who cross it. Otherwise, we are going to continue to just allow lies veiled in our team's jersey to fester, complete, and continue. And until then, it's just we don't deserve things. This is just crazy. Do we love the Army? Do we support the veterans? Then these grandkids need their genitals taken. We don't? Okay, then let's stop fucking saying we do. We are him, the country. We are Doug,
Jesus.
the nation.
Holy shit.
We are just a thousand piles of bullshit in one flag walking around pretending to be the greatest. And by the way, apparently I've heard this one before. All right, there you go.